Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Totalbiscuit from the WoW podcast Blue Please over on cynicalbrit.com. Anybody fancy a dip? I seem to be shipwrecked in the middle of nowhere and I have no idea how to get out. This is a quick tour of some, I do say some, of Vash'jr. And it is enormous. There is an awful lot of ground to cover here, or should I say ocean. And it would go an awful lot faster if we weren't being attacked by Naga. It's a pre-made character, so I don't really know what I'm doing with him, but whatever. That's a default state for me, having no idea what I'm doing. Now, in these underwater areas, you are given a buff that gives you permanent water breathing. Oh, for God's sake! Take a bloody hint. As I was saying, you're given a buff that gives you water breathing, and it also gives you a 60% movement speed increase while running on the seafloor. So it's like being a mount. Those of you who missed out on the planes running ability back in the original WoW Alpha and Beta from the Tauren, well, don't worry, you now get to see it once again. This is the transporter that you use to get around. There is one of these in Orgrimmar. I believe there are in other major cities as well, and that's the easiest way to get here. I imagine there is a bunch of stuff regarding getting here originally. There'll be quest lines or whatever, but that's not implemented in the beta as of yet. Now, I'm not going to show you quests around here. I'm just going to show you the area in general. It's simply a sightseeing tour this time around. This area is massive. It is larger than Vash'jr, it is larger than an awful lot of things. It is split into multiple regions. And behold, Blizzard's masterful way of bringing in new mobs into the game. Rename existing mobs slightly and give them a different colour. Behold the Giblin. What the hell is a Giblin? I have no idea. Aquatic goblins. Makes sense. That just looks silly. I'm sorry, it does. Any Moonkin out there, you look silly. Shipwreck, interesting stuff. We're going to have a look at that. If we could not be harassed by Giblins. It's a terrible name for anything. Please go away. Thank you. Now, some of you may be concerned that the various areas here are not going to look different enough. That is not the case. I will show you another area after this. Like I said, this area is so huge, it would take far too long to cover in a single video. I'll probably revisit certain areas of this in future presentations. This is probably the most boring part of it in terms of the aesthetic, actually. A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, you've got this nice ship right here. That's a new mob, I believe. I haven't seen them before. These sea serpents called a Kasha. Rather than pleasant little beasties. Here's the map, as you can see. I'm actually on the edge of a single area there. This area zooms out, and there are way more huge zones actually built into the whole Vash'jr area. Here in the background, a nice, relaxing and suitably epic soundtrack, I feel. There is no music in this area as of yet. Early stages of the beta, I don't really expect there to be. You can also, I would imagine, see that some of these areas are a little bit less populated than they're going to be in the live game. Indeed, when I show you Vash'jr in another video that I've got coming out today, what you're going to see is that there are large areas which are totally empty. Nor's graveyard. I do not want to meet Nor. No idea if it's these piranha-style things, but if Nor can do that, then I don't want to be fighting him. He can just go on his merry way, and we can ignore each other. It's a nice-looking area, nonetheless. I don't think anyone can dispute that. The water effects are pretty neat. It's rather odd, really, having an entire zone where you're basically flying. You've got to deal with three-dimensional combat but at least you're not on a mount or, worse still, a vehicle. These guys just don't know when to quit. Aha! Someone who's never played a warrior before. Perfect. Will be an easy prey. But now I've got overpowered gear, I'll be fine. Just spam random buttons. Oh, come on. It's quite enough of that nonsense. You notice they look like they're wearing tuxedos. Some of the animations are a little buggy here. You've got a few Naga that are just... They're like they're sitting on water. Large trench. That's a massive trench. Huge amount of terrain to cover here. We're going to go into this random cave. We're going to head over to another area that I would like to show you that is very cool indeed. You can see it there on the left-hand side of the map. Big fan of this area, just in the way that it looks. But first, I'm going to take a little swim through here. Nothing particularly special here as of yet, but it does take you somewhere that I imagine is going to be important later on. It's a camp, indeed, an underwater cave in which the Earthen Ring are chilling out. Not really sure what they're doing there, but hey. There you go, secret cave. Seem to be having a jolly old time, though. Again, I don't know what this is all about. Might be reputation related, might be a quest line that I have not unlocked in this area as of yet. Then again, it could also be something they just haven't implemented. Nothing else really here. That should give you an overview of where we are right now. A lot of very cool places to look for. Okay. And that's where we are relative to the Eastern Kingdoms. We're off the west coast right there. Okay. I'm taking another swim, and we're going to get out of here into an area that I really want you to see because it is very cool. I think if they're going to put those mounts in these stingrays, then I wish they would put them in a little sooner. Oh, that's bright. And that's why. Look at that. You could just sit around for hours looking at all the detail they've put in here. Very nice looking area. Goes by the name of the Shimmering Grotto, and it lives up to its name in pretty much every respect. Definitely some very impressive stuff here. Reminds me, do apologise for the texture errors there as a result of the beta client, of course. Reminds me of Zangarmarsh and first seeing those mushrooms after the boring red clay of Hellfire Peninsula. You really got the colours and the very otherworldly sense. In this case, that's exactly what's happening here. You see a mountain above that. There are random outcroppings and little watchtowers around the place, but they don't appear to be manned in any way. I don't know if I didn't have a bloodstain following me. I don't know what's going on there. Nice water effect and the reflection of the light source on there. It's good stuff. Okay, this pretty much concludes our tour of this area right here. I will revisit this in a future video and try and show you some other stuff. We're working on a Throne of Tides video, but the Throne of the Tides is crashing for a lot of people, myself included right now. Kills the beta client upon launch, so there's not an awful lot I can do with that. Hyjal video is, again, on its way. That's the entirety of Hyjal. I'm going to be showing you that from the air. We'll do a couple of quests, and I'll highlight a number of aspects that you might find interesting. In the meantime, I'm just going to chill out here and look across the ocean on a nice, warm, sunny day. My name's been Totalbiscuit, and I shall see you next time.